visit every now and then, I hope. Christine Odiar. Christine, it's been a nice summer.
It has been.
Your summer's coming to a close, though.
Yep.
Christine has been here interning with us. She'll be going back to Stetson University to finish out her senior year and senior season of golf. And hopefully we'll see you on the airwaves broadcasting or golf or golf
playing.
channel stuff, or see you with somebody on your bag playing golf.
That would be nice.
Remember, when you're inside the ropes and you're doing pretty good, and I walk up and say, "Hey, you, don't give me the Michelle Wee. You better turn around and say hello."
I don't know him.
Please, I have a restraining order against him. Could you please get him off the course?
Oh, of course.
We're joined today. It is Ask the Cops. Every Friday, we bring in a member of the Ocala Police Department. Chief Greg Graham last week said he would not be here, so he would be sending someone in his place, and he sent Captain Corey Taylor for his second visit to Ask the Cops. It's been about 3 weeks since you were here last. What, 3-4 weeks?
I think it was 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks. Hadn't been a while. How's things going? You getting home safe every night? You living the dream?
Things are going well. Living the dream.
I want to talk to you to start the program about, it is the rainy season.
Yes.
And so a lot of times, like Wednesday night, I got an alert on my phone from the wonderful people at Duke Energy that said there had been a power outage reported in your neighborhood, and we estimate that it'll be 9:30 before it gets back up. And then about 20 minutes later, we now estimate it'll be 1 a.m. before it gets back up. So when that happens, it's not just you don't just have to think about what goes on in your home, but you have to think about what goes on the roadways as well.
Yes.
The roadways can become very treacherous in the rain. One is asphalt is made of oil, and oil and water doesn't mix, so it can get slippery. As a rule of thumb, if you were advising someone, what would you say would it be a good speed in the rain? Is it 5 miles lower than the posted speed limit, 10 miles the posted speed limit? What would you give if you were giving advice? What would you give as an advice for a good speed limit and a good way to travel in rain?
Well, I would say the best way to travel, it's difficult to give a hard and fast rule. I always suggest that first and foremost, people make those decisions based on the driving ability. And then also a good rule of thumb, too, is considering your stopping distance, because, as you just mentioned, it makes it more difficult to stop, once the roads become, wet and slippery. So usually I used to, as a driving instructor for our department, one of the things we always teach is, consider giving yourself, 1 car length per 10 miles that you're driving, and obviously you want to increase that, as the terrain changes. But really it depends on you. If you're a great driver, then maybe you don't have to slow down or as much as somebody who has less.
I'm not Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Good, then good.
And a lot of things that people don't realize. And is there a rule of thumb, a suggestion as you as a driving instructor would give? And as I was driving in today, I come in 27th Avenue because I live out by the concrete plant out on 27th Avenue and Old Jacksonville Road.
Okay.
Old Gainesville Road, actually. And as you come down 27th and they put the new 35th road through there and everything, it's created, because it's much higher, it's created a very big runoff, and there is standing water in the road. And today I would guess there was probably 1.5 to 2 inches of standing water. Should I try to avoid standing water? If I can go around it, almost treat it like a down limb or something, is that what I should do?
Yes, because you don't know what's under it, so and nowadays a lot of the cars are lower, so obviously that creates more of a hazard if you try to navigate through the water and then you get stuck. So yes, I would say, take look for the safest opportunity and try to go around it.
When you have a situation, though, where you might have a storm where trees are down and power's out, and you come up to, a lot of people get confused about how to operate when the traffic lights go out.
Okay.
You come up to an intersection, let me just throw an intersection out, 11th and Fort King.
Yeah. There's
a red light there.
Yes.
And it turns red, you can go on 11th, and it turns red, you can go on Fort King. A lot of trees in that area.
Yes.
Because it's the historic district. If, for instance, that light was out, it would. By the way, it wouldn't go out because when the lights go out, backup system kicks in and the lights blink unless it's really bad.
That is correct.
Right. So if they're both blinking red, how do I handle that situation? I mean, it's blinking red. How do I handle that situation when I pull up?
In that situation, that intersection becomes essentially a four-way stop, and so you would treat it as if there was no traffic signal there, but just stop signs posted on each side. And so you would, first driver to make it there would then have the right of way to proceed through. But
a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people think, well,
it's not working.
Hope they stop.
Yes, make it a four-way stop.
How many of your men and women in uniform are trained in traffic situations where they can get out and direct traffic and all during storms? Is that everyone, or do you have a certain group, a traffic group that does that?
No, every police officer, that's part of the basic training that we give them. They receive, traffic enforcement training, which includes directing traffic in the academy setting, and then again when they join the police department and all through their field training. So obviously we have traffic officers that deal in that situation more often than a patrol officer would. So they may become more proficient in it or better. But every police officer is trained in how to direct traffic and assist in that regard.
Because it always seems like that it doesn't take long for a light to be out before an officer shows up and alleviates any problem that happens to be at the intersection.
Yes.
Now, when that happens, when a storm comes up like that and that happens, are there provisions in place where men and women, you have enough men and women on that they can handle that situation and still keep us protected and served as well? You when you make shifts out when you do shift schedules, is the thought process of everything that could happen in storms being one of them, and light outings and stuff part of it?
Yes, we try to take that into consideration. It's difficult to judge when a natural disaster or natural issue will take place, but there are other resources that we have available. To include, we work very closely with other city government entities such as Parks and Recs and Public Works. So we partner with them, and in those situations, we try to look at which intersections could be the most have the most potential for danger, and those are the ones that we'll man with a police officer. And then other ones such as the 11th Avenue and Fort King would be one that we would allow the flashing lights to
because
to
it's
address
red flashing lights both ways. Talking with Captain Corey Taylor of the Ocala Police Department. When we come back, I want to ask you about some things that I see take place almost every day as I sit here looking out this window. I almost see one taking place right now. Almost every day you see the potential for a serious fender bender in this parking lot. I'm going to ask you, whose responsibility is it to come and do? Is there an investigation? Is it just an insurance change? Is the highway patrol? Do y'all? Because I know on a roadway that the city takes care of the roadway, but then the highway patrol comes in and does some investigating. I know inside the city you have your own investigative
Yes.
traffic investigation, but I know on the interstate and all, the highway patrol does all the investigations. Correct. But in a parking lot, who does the investigation there? I'll ask you that question next on Ask the Cops, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Your quality of life is meant to be fully enjoyed each day. The doctors at Ayers Global understand that and strive to provide a quality of life for you that has no equal. Ayers Therapeutic Services combines naturopathic and family medicine to help all your health needs. Diabetic management, hypertension, pain management, and anti-aging are just a few of the services offered by the Ayers family. Call 352-512-0222 today, and Ayers Therapeutic Services will help you begin to understand that better health begins with you.
The following is a message from the Bud Light Party.
Bud Light's the beer that's fashionable all year round, before and after Labor Day. So while it might be your last chance to wear your billowy white drawstring pants, Bud Light will be ready for this weekend, the next one, and the one after that. Raise one to right now with Bud Light, the beer that's always in season. This message approved by the Bud Light Party. Raise one to right now. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin would like to thank all of our Countdown to Kickoff sponsors, the Briggs Law Firm, Triangle Sales, the McDonald Allstate Agency, Griner's Fine Men's Clothing, HDG Hotels, and Gateway Bank. Thank you for your support of Countdown to Kickoff, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. College football is almost here.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought to you by
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
I love vacations, but it's good to come home.
Is the pool overflowing?
We don't have a pool, and even if we did, it wouldn't be on the second floor.
Oh.
I told you before we left to turn off the water main.
I thought you said take down the weather vane.
We don't have one of those either.
Yeah, I was wondering why you said that. It does make more sense now.
Okay, genius, don't just stand there. Cut the main water off.
Okay, I'll go get the chainsaw.
Wait, what? No! What do we do when there's a plumbing issue?
Oh, I got this one. I'll be right back.
I said no chainsaw. Shut the water off and call Mike Scott Plumbing.
Of course, I definitely was not going for the blowtorch.
Uh-huh. The number should be etched in your memory, but just in case, 866-314-4443.
Okay, got it. 866-314-4443. On next week's episode of What Not to Do.
Really? A mariachi band?
Whether you're building it up or knocking it down, get it done, rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals is here to make your job a little easier. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the right equipment for any job, big or small. Did you know that Sunbelt Rentals carries heaters, air conditioners, generators, lighting, traffic control, and so much more? So whether you're building it up or knocking it down, we've got the equipment you need. Get it done, rent it now. And right now, for a limited time, you can have it for less. Just by mentioning this ad, if you rent it Friday afternoon, you can keep it the whole weekend and only pay for one day. But this is a limited time offer, so stop into Sunbelt Rentals today, Northwest 27th, just a quarter mile east of I-75. For more information, just give us a call, 352-369-9101. 352-369-9101. Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done, rent it now. 352-369-9101.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala on a Friday afternoon. This is Ask the Cops, brought to you in part by Chris Spears and Prestige Auto. Go see the yes man, Chris Spears at Prestige Auto. We'll be talking to Chris Spears in about 20 minutes from Prestige Auto, but right now we're talking to Captain Corey Taylor. He is in studio, and before we left, Captain, I wanted to ask you now, in the city, people may not know this because people think the Florida Highway Patrol does all the traffic accident investigations. But inside the city limits, the city has officers that are trained to do traffic accident investigations. It's not automatically the State Patrol that does them inside the city limits, correct?
That is correct. Every police officer is trained, and we also have a group of officers that, or non-sworn officers that also are traffic crash investigators.
Yeah, they go by a call sign that is one of my favorite adult beverages. We'll just leave that alone, but that's one of those little inside information things I know. So the State Patrol, though, investigates highway crashes, interstate crashes, state highway crashes, state road crashes. I know that. But let's say this parking lot right here, because I almost every day see, especially right here at this little area right here in front of the food court, because you got people backing out, people making the turn, people wanting to turn in. Everybody's wanting to get a parking spot, especially in the busy time right now with back to school shopping and everything. And you'll almost see a fender bender. And I've seen 2 or 3 over the 5 years I've been here. I've probably seen 10, 12 car accidents. And I always see a city police, if it's where a bumper is hanging off or something, a city police officer comes up, or it looks like a city police officer. Is that an investigation? Is that a traffic investigation? And you have to come up and you say who's at fault, who's not at fault. How's that work here in the parking lot?
On private property, in a parking lot such as this one, we will come out and initially take a report. And really, what we're doing, we're kind of facilitating the exchange of information between the drivers and DHS&V. It is not an investigation per se, because we don't cite the at-fault driver, because it's usually in this situation it's difficult to tell. But so in a private property crash, there will be no at-fault driver identified by the officer. Essentially, we'll exchange information, document that on the driver's exchange form, which will be provided to the 2 parties that were involved.
Now, I've always wondered, that's in the parking lot here, but I've always wondered on the loop, the exterior loop of a mall parking lot, is that still considered, even though it's got double yellow lines and stop signs and all, is that still considered private property, or is that done like a city street?
No. And ironically, the state of Florida doesn't differentiate between a parking lot and the actual roadway that's maintained. But the differentiation comes for us. But to answer your question, that area that goes around the parking lot, because it's not maintained by either the city of Ocala or the state of Florida, that's not considered a roadway.
So it's maintained by the mall, therefore it's mall property. It's
private
not
property.
Right. And I guess that begins right as you cross over 27th Avenue and come into that little entryway right there by Zaxby's. That becomes mall property.
That is correct.
Wow, I did not. I thought that you may patrol the loop area there. Now, people may not understand this. How many areas of this city have crossovers and it may be too many for you to tell me, but is it quite frequent that there's crossovers with the way the city lines are drawn and all, that the county comes into areas people think are the city, and the city are in areas that people think are the county? Is that quite often? Is that quite common?
For the most part, it is common, but I would say it's on the outskirts of the city limits, because there are areas that have been annexed in, that become, city property. And one of the areas specifically that I can think of is on South Pine. There are businesses that are on that are across, and I'll use the McDonald's. They're in the 1900 block. There's a business right across the street. I think it's like a nightclub.
Cloud 9. That's in the county.
Right. It's in the county.
When they had the shooting there,
right.
The county investigated
exactly.
that.
But everything on either side of it is the city. So it's difficult. But roadways are fairly easy to differentiate. For the most part.
Because I know out where I live, the city limits end right about 35th Avenue.
That's correct.
Right there at the McDonald's.
Right.
And the funny thing about that is the Kangaroo that's there and the CVS that are there are in the county.
Right.
But the Walgreens and the McDonald's are in the city.
Right. So.
But that doesn't preclude you going to, if there's an incident at the CVS or the Circle K, that doesn't preclude you from going there if you have an officer close and say there's a domestic situation or a robbery or something going on there. That doesn't, you're not going to, it's not like there's a invisible wall and you won't cross that wall.
No, just like at the Cloud 9, it's not in our jurisdiction. So, but we have a mutual aid agreement with the sheriff's office, and so we're helpers to one another. So, no, we would respond and assist, and vice versa.
Now, last time you were here, we talked about pursuits, and you said that is something that is the officer makes a decision, and supervisors are in on some of the decision making.
Yes.
When you have a pursuit that goes out into, let's say you had a pursuit, you tried to pull somebody over right there in the S curve, and they decide they don't want to stop. They get on Pine and travel north on Pine, and they cross over 35th Avenue, and they're on 441, and they're headed out. Mm-hmm. Do you still maintain jurisdiction in that chase, or because now they're in the county, does the county take that chase?
we still have jurisdiction. However, they could be charged by both jurisdictions. So let's say because in a situation we were chasing someone for traffic only. I mean, it was what we were talking the last time. It's not an imperative pursuit, but it's rather it's one that the officer has kind of decided. I think I'm going to. It's an elective pursuit
because you were pulling somebody over for a minute reason, and they decided to run. Yeah. Why are they running? They maybe have a felony warrant out for them. You don't know.
Yeah, and you don't. But we always have to, we have to make those decisions based on why we were initially making the stop. So at 30, if it was simply for traffic at 35th Street and North Pine, they'd be told by their supervisor if they hadn't already done it to cancel. But that information has already been, dispatched and shared with the sheriff's office. If they pick them up, 100 yards into the county and they initiate the pursuit based on what their fellow officers have, our department has told them, and they chase him. When they catch him, they're going to charge him with fleeing and eluding, and we're going to charge him with fleeing and eluding because he committed.
I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. So if the sheriff knows you're chasing someone, even though you give up the pursuit at the county, where the city limits end, the sheriff can then 100 yards down the road, if they see him, they can pick up the pursuit.
They could.
And charge him with eluding because he's still trying to get away.
They could.
Under the probable cause of what you originated the chase from.
Right. I mean, and or it could just be that they've caught him and now they've called us and say, okay, we'll respond to the location and take custody of him. But essentially, and I've seen it various ways. I've seen it where we've started a chase and ended it. They picked it up and then they've made the arrest, and then we also, will make an affidavit and make an arrest in our charge. I've seen them where they're going into different counties, and that county will take them to their jail, like Alachua County per se. Mm-hmm. Alachua will arrest them and take them to their jail for fleeing and eluding, and then we'll come back to Marion County and get a warrant for their arrest.
I saw one of the, and it wasn't funny. It was comical at the time, but I was living in Hawthorne at the time in Putnam County, and we were traveling on Highway 20, Gainesville, going to Gainesville, okay. And we saw a pursuit coming down. It was traveling north. East towards Palatka, I guess, on 20, and. We saw it come by us. It was in the other lane because it's a 4-lane highway. But we saw it come behind us, and we saw one guy and a Mustang and about 3 police cars, Gainesville City police cars, chasing him. And then about a minute and a half later, my wife goes, "That idiot's behind us." So I guess he'd went down in the median, come up. So we pull off in the median. Well, here he races by us, and here the 3 cops come. So we pull back out as they go by us. They go out of sight. They're going so fast. We pull back out. I'm driving, and my wife goes, "Here, that idiot comes again." He's in the other lane now. He's coming back. So he passes us again. We're still going down. By this time, we're almost into Gainesville. And my wife goes, right before the bridge that you come to, there's a bridge on 20 that goes over one of the tributaries that lead to the prairie or something. She goes, "Here, that idiot comes again." And he come up by us, and we pulled off in the median again. There was about 3 cars all in the median. Alachua County had enough of it because Alachua County had already joined the race now. They'd had enough of it. And I'd never seen a pit maneuver made. And as we're in the median up in front of us about 150, 200 yards, because his tires, by this time, his tires are flat and he's sparking as he comes by us. So he's not moving. The first 2 times he come by us, he was getting on down the highway. But somebody had employed stop sticks somewhere. And I've never seen a pit maneuver until I saw that. And this young man, and here's what I don't understand. And you may be able to give me some insight. So they got the car, no tires. They pit move him. The car's not moving. Mm-hmm. And this moron decides he can make it on foot. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Because all the Alachua County deputy, the K-9 deputy did was open the back door to the car. Right. And the chase was over. I understand trying to win. But once you're caught, you just
it's over.
Give up the ghost.
Just give it up.
That's because stitches could have been avoided. Stitches could have been avoided.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk with Captain Corey Taylor of the Ocala Police Department. Coming up next, we'll talk with Chris Spears of Prestige Auto. You're listening to Ask the Cops right here on a Friday afternoon, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Have you been diagnosed with BPH or an enlarged prostate gland? Are you tired of getting up at night to visit the bathroom? You may be eligible for the Equinox study, a clinical research study of an investigational drug to reduce the number of times you wake up to urinate at night, a condition known as nocturia. To qualify, you must be male, be at least 18 years of age, have been diagnosed with BPH, have been bothered by nocturia for at least 1 year, and meet additional study requirements. Qualified participants will receive all study medication and study-related care from a dedicated team of medical staff at no cost. Health insurance is not required to participate. Again, the Equinox study is for males, ages 18 and older, who are diagnosed with BPH and have been bothered by nocturia for at least 1 year. To find out more and to see if you qualify, please call 1-352-234-8436. That's 1-352-234-8436.
The following is a message from the Bud Light Party.
The Bud Light Party tackles the issues other candidates won't dare touch, like doors. They push, they pull, they even slide. Why can't doors make up their minds? Is that really who you want in charge of keeping people out of your home? The Bud Light Party has an open door policy. So come on in, America, and enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. This message approved by the Bud Light Party. Raise one to right now. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a sixth-generation Ocala, and I practice law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
News Radio. I'm Millian Wu. Fox News hearing from Republican sources that Donald Trump is now ready to endorse House Speaker Paul Ryan, days after saying he wasn't there yet.
Our understanding is that tonight in Wisconsin, Trump will say that he wants Ryan to win, even though Ryan will not be in the House at that Trump-Pence event.
Fox's Peter Doocy, opponent Hillary Clinton, addressing a journalist organization in D.C., saying she'll work to produce results for people.
To get the economy to work for everybody, not just those at the top. To do as much as I can to help people who, as I said earlier, may not even vote for me.
The mayor of Stockton, California, under fire, charged with providing alcohol to young adults last summer and making a secret recording of what prosecutors said was a game of strip poker with teens at his summer camp. And a father charged with involuntary manslaughter after his twin 15-month-old girls die after being left in a hot car in Georgia. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Are you tired of your timeshare? Are you frustrated with increasing maintenance fees? Lone Star Transfer can help. Now, before you pay another maintenance fee, call us today for a free consultation. We provide a written guarantee that we'll do what we promise, or we'll refund 100% of your fee. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lone Star Transfer has helped thousands of timeshare owners just like you. So call today to see which program your timeshare qualifies for. 855-722-3166. That's 855-722-3166.
Lumber Liquidators is clearing out top quality floors to make room for the newest styles during their hardwood and bamboo closeout sale. Get $1 off per square foot on select pre-finished hardwood. 20 to 25% off all in-stock Morningstar bamboo. It's one of the best deals ever. Get complete laminate flooring packages from just 39 cents per square foot and new stack out deals from 29 cents at your local store. Plus special financing. Get to the hardwood and bamboo closeout sale today. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
Council.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Hey, this is Dan. Let me ask you a few questions. Does your boat look better with the cover on? Has your car's interior seen its better days? Stop using a towel to cover up those rips in the golf cart. Isn't it about time you had it restored to better than new with a custom upholstery from Captain T? Captain T's Upholstery has been right here in Ocala for nearly 20 years, so they know how to make your ride one of a kind. Whether you want to take that classic ride back to a factory look or put your favorite sports team front and center, Captain T's Upholstery is who to call. 352-369-1810. That's 352-369-1810. Or stop by their location, 5030 South Pine Avenue in Ocala, just past the drive-in. And of course, don't forget to visit them on the web, CaptainTupholstery.com.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
On Mondays, AM Ocala Live, Don Browning will be in the studio bringing common sense your way. Don is running for Marion County Commission, District 3.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
Caleb Chase is a journalist, and he's written a book about artificial intelligence and says that capitalism just might go away from those robots.
Psychologist Dr. John Gray will be on the air. He's the author of Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. He'll be speaking about his new book, Conscious Men.
All of that plus Fun with Joe on Mondays, AM Ocala Live.
FlySanford.com, Orlando Sanford International Airport. We are SFB. Simpler, faster, better. Simpler, with an easy-to-navigate, compact airport design. You won't need your running shoes. Faster, with quick processing times from parking to plane in minutes. Better, with more nonstop flights to your favorite places. And new destinations are being added all the time. For enjoyable travel, come to Orlando Sanford International Airport. We are SFB. Simpler, faster, better. Before you fly, FlySanford.com.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala on a Friday afternoon. We're trying to reach Chris Spears. I don't know if we're going to be able to reach him today. He may be out of pocket. But know you can go see Chris Spears at Prestige Auto. Prestige Auto is located on Highway 200, just a few doors down from Golden Corral. And he's got everything from the cars that if you got great credit and you want 1.9%, if you want 1.9% APR, he's got those. But he's got also those cars that are, $5,000, $6,000 that you need if you need a good car for a starter car for a kid or something. So go see Chris Spears. You can also find him at prestige4u.com. That's prestige, the number 4, the letter u.com. Or you can call him at 694-1234. That's 694-1234, Prestige Auto, right here on Highway 200, about a couple doors down from Golden Corral. Like Chris says, he's got a lot of cars, but he doesn't have them to keep. So go see the Yes Man, Chris Spears at Prestige Auto. We're talking with Captain Corey Taylor from the Ocala Police Department, and we had a very interesting conversation in the break, and I was telling you about a pursuit that I witnessed where a guy came by us 3 different times on a very long straight stretch of highway. And you said, well, do you know what he was charged for? Because it's different that somebody didn't call the pursuit off after that period of time. I said, well, he was charged with armed robbery for holding a lady up in the Walmart parking lot in Gainesville.
Yes. Now,
that kind of pursuit you won't call off. Is that correct?
Normally, no. We categorize our pursuits in 2 ways: elective and imperative. With that being a person's crime where he committed a violent felony offense, that's an imperative pursuit. And we're going to do, at the end of the day, like we were talking about a few weeks ago, we won't continue to do anything that puts the lives of others in danger more than the offense the person committed. But in a situation like that, there's more leniency, a little more leeway, in that particular pursuit.
Well, do we have Chris Spears now? All right, let's go out to the phone lines. Captain, if you want to put the headset on, Chris Spears is on the line with us. Chris Spears of Prestige Auto. Chris, good afternoon. You have Tom Schmitz and Captain Corey Taylor of the Ocala Police Department.
Awesome. Good to be with you, Mr. Taylor. Hello.
Yeah, Corey.
Hello, Vietnam. You can go to the boys' room.
There.
How you doing?
Good, sir. Good, sir. I heard you guys. Did you guys get some of those little things from St. John's School yesterday, or what? I seen something in the paper, but I wasn't sure what group that went to. A little memorabilia, little bag for from the kids over at St. John's, or was that to the sheriff's?
No, we did. We did receive some of the bags with goodies inside. So they're doing a good job of keeping us a little bit overweight, but we appreciate it.
well. Speaking of overweight, I don't know if anybody's seen Mr. Schmitz lately, but he's a new, younger, lighter, half himself man. So kudos to you.
I was just talking about that with my significant other today. I said I had my birthday party 2 weeks ago, and this week we got a couple pizzas from my favorite pizza joint, and I said I went to Publix this morning and stepped on the scale and was 6 pounds heavier than I was 2 weeks ago. I said, we're gonna have to stop this. So tonight we're having a nice tilapia and asparagus for dinner, so I can go back on to eating correctly again.
Well, my girls go over to St. John's. I've got a middle schooler and a high schooler there, and then when I seen that thing in the paper, and then I knew that's something that the kids have been working on. So we appreciate what you guys do, and it's the unsung heroes, and often only get called out or noticed in the press and by the world when something doesn't go the way they want. But I promise you, I feel I've always appreciated and was raised to honor those that serve and protect, and not buttering you up, but it's I have no idea what it takes to do your job and the complexity of it, and all the worldly things that you see that sometimes us in these other components didn't get to see, because there's a lot of hurting folks out there, and you guys keep the separation between us and try to love on them as much as you can. But I appreciate what you guys do, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you so much, and I don't think we felt more loved in the past, few weeks and months, than we ever have, and we definitely appreciate all that you guys are doing just to reach out and say thank you. So we appreciate that, and it makes moving forward much easier.
Awesome.
Chris,
Yes,
let me ask you a question. Let's steer towards what you do for a living now. And I just purchased a new car, as you know, because you were integral in finding that car that I now own. But that leaves me with an extra car in my driveway. Is that a kind of problem you could help me with at Prestige?
Well, that is exactly. I'm actually sitting with two ladies right now that heard our advertisement about buying cars, and Angela's with me right now, and I'm purchasing her 2015 Hyundai Genesis with 8,000 miles on it, and possibility that in the next week or two, I may be getting some tires that were an extra set of tires if all things come together. But yes, Tom, if you have an extra vehicle in your driveway, we're blessed to help 70 or 80 families a month to get nicer, newer cars, and sometimes that nicer, newer car is a 15 Genesis to somebody, and to somebody else it may be a 2002 Corolla, but we're looking for them all.
Well, I don't think a 1995 Pathfinder is going to make its way over there. But
well, if it got you back and forth, and then I promise you, there's another young man or there's another father looking to get to the job site, and everybody has a budget, so I'm sure that Pathfinder will fill somebody's need.
It certainly will. Chris, if somebody wanted to come find out, come see you and talk to you about maybe you buying their car or them buying a car from you, how can they find you?
Well, we're on Highway 200, a couple doors down from Golden Corral, kind of across the street from Palm Chevrolet, and on Highway 200. Our phone number is 694-1234. And our website is prestigeforyou.com. And in parting here, if I get another 10 seconds, at my website or my Facebook page, Chris Spears, next Friday night, there's two great events coming up this month, but I'll just talk about this one next. The Christ Starfish Foundation provides gifts to children that are in Shands on Christmas Day. And there's going to be about 2,000 presents. 12 years we've done it, and I've got 3 tables at next Friday's event. So if any of your listeners would like to attend, and they have a heart for what's going on there, and these are kids that don't have the word cancer in what their illness is. They've got sickle cell anemia, they've got cystic fibrosis or a heart condition, and they don't, because they don't have the word cancer in what their challenge is, they don't get the funds and the necessarily the recognition. But this group, Christ Starfish, next Friday has a fundraising event to raise money for children that are in Shands on Christmas Day. So any of your listeners, kindly go to Chris Spears' Facebook page, reach out to me, and I'll get you a ticket to the event. And it's going to be a great basket event. And I'd love to have some of your listeners come and sit with me. And there's going to be some personal testimonies from families, and there's going to be some folks from Shands come in and talk about what this unique organization does.
Chris Spears, go see Chris at Prestige Auto for all your car needs, but go to Chris Spears' Facebook page and help some less fortunate children that may not be in a great situation on Christmas Day. Maybe you can put a smile on their face by attending this event next
Awesome
weekend.
event.
Chris, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You know, there's a guy that he's committed to his community.
Clearly.
clearly committed to his community. He does a good job, and that Christ Starfish thing that he's talking, that's a great thing, because you always see the Make-A-Wish Foundation and everything, but that's kids that everyone you see cancer's attached to it, but cystic fibrosis, cerebral palsy, sickle cell anemia, there are a lot of other ailments children go through that aren't just cancer related. And by the way, cancer related illnesses are no good either. A very good friend of mine was on here yesterday talking about his son. Who has Mason, who 3 years old, has leukemia. We're doing a golf tournament for him August 27th down at Orlando Disney World Resort, Lake Buena Vista Golf Course for Mason. So you can find that on the Voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, the Voice of Ocala Facebook page. We're talking with Captain Corey Taylor of the Ocala Police Department. Now, we've been talking today about traffic-related stuff and all, and one of the biggest questions that come up when you talk about traffic, and because you teach at the academy, you know Billy Woods is a traffic guy too, Lieutenant Billy Woods, but you are very, very well versed because as a watch commander, that is the correct title, isn't it? Or district commander?
District commander.
District commander. As a district commander, you're pretty well versed in. You got a pretty good knowledge of everything that goes on in your district.
I try to.
Right. Somebody has said, what's the rule of thumb if I've come to an intersection and the light's green and it's a turning signal, but the turn signal's gone off, but it's still a green light, and I pull out there and I'm in the intersection and the light turns yellow, but I have to wait for all the traffic to stop going, and it may be red when I take that left turn. Am I able to take that left turn without retribution because I'm already out there in the intersection?
That's an interesting question. I had this conversation with someone recently. Technically, you are not supposed to enter the intersection until you're clear to go. So the short answer would be no, you would still be, technically still could be cited for running the red light, because if you're behind the stop bar, that's where you should wait until the way is clear.
Right. So if you go in front of the stop bar before the way is clear, you could still technically be cited for turning on a red light.
You could be, yes.
I did not know that. I always thought if you were past the traffic bar, you had to finish that maneuver without a ticket. I didn't know that. See, that helps me there, because I'm the guy that always gets out in the middle of the intersection.
Right. No, because think about it. And the reason it is that way, and I talked to our best traffic guy, and he explained it to me, and it made sense that in the event of emergency, if emergency vehicles are now having to come through, you can't clear the intersection because you're in the middle of it.
Right.
So essentially, you want to wait behind the stop bar until the way is clear, and then you proceed through. But
nobody waits behind the stop bar.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Well, there are a few.
Nobody.
Let's give them credit.
Now, one last question, because I got this email, and that's the reason I came up with the question, because I got a bunch of emails over the last week or so about traffic-related stuff to ask the cops, and Greg Graham would have no clue. So
yes, he would.
He would tell you. He'd tell you the proper things to do, taking off from a plane, scuba diving. So the other one is, say you're at a red light and you get rear-ended by somebody who was rear-ended by somebody who was rear-ended. Is everybody at fault for following too closely, or just the person that started the chain reaction of following too closely?
Again, an interesting question. Technically, everyone would be at fault because they were too close. So the how that's handled could be, I think it could be dependent on the circumstances, at that particular time. But essentially, when you come to a stop, you're supposed to do so in a manner that, in the event that would take place, that you would be able to either maneuver out of it, or if you were, impacted.
We
from
never
the
do
rear.
that. When you get into, people can't walk between bumpers sometimes when you're at a stoplight.
But it's definitely good practice, something to start doing, even in emergency situations. One of the things that I teach my wife and women that are driving at night is that you always want to give yourself an out, and we do it as police officers because if I come to a red light and an emergency call comes out, I need to be able to maneuver my way out of traffic. But it's no different than a young lady or a woman who's driving at night, stopped at a red light, and then someone comes up to the door. If they have no way of escape, then you're trapped.
And if you're too close together, sometimes, and I see this happen a lot. And I know where seconds are the difference between life and death. And you'll see during rush hour, during rush time traffic, where the intersections are, especially at 17th and Pine, which is right near the hospital.
Yes.
It is so clogged up that an ambulance will come over the viaduct there and cannot maneuver through has to wait until the traffic clears because people can't go anywhere.
Right.
They can't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's difficult.
It's because they didn't leave themselves any way to maneuver.
Correct.
So that they could then pull a little sideways so an ambulance could get through.
Right.
And seconds matter between life and death. And I always wonder, did that ambulance, did somebody perish because that ambulance had to sit and wait for that traffic to start? Because I've seen ambulances have to sit there 45, 50 seconds till traffic could move enough where it could then part and get out of the way of the ambulance.
You're right.
And it was all because people are parked in there too close together, pulled up too close together at the light,
right,
to even maneuver their cars to give the ambulance a way in and a way out. So I'd never thought about that before. So technically, everybody would be at fault.
Yes,
except for the person that was in the front of the line.
In the front of the line.
We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we'll. I don't know if we'll have very much time when we come back. We'll see. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. Do you remember when summer was a celebration? No schools, no worries, just days packed with your favorite pastime. It was the splendid season you dreamed of all year long. But as you got older and busier, the summer seemed to lose its sparkle. Where did those carefree days go? Well, they're closer than you think. Summer's still sensational at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club, where you can come out and play the grown-up way with our affordable summer memberships. Enjoy our championship golf course celebrating the game's greatest holes, hard-true tennis courts, and a state-of-the-art fitness center. Explore our stately 77,000 square foot clubhouse and unwind at our relaxing spa.
Don't forget the pool!
It's a summer unlike any other, and it's yours with a Golden Ocala summer membership. You can call Golden Ocala at 629-6229 to inquire about a summer membership, or you can visit goldenocala.com to learn more. That's goldenocala.com.
Do you suffer with frequent migraines? If you've experienced several migraines each month for at least the past year, you may qualify for a clinical research study. To find out more information about this study, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. All study medications and study-related procedures are at no cost to you, and insurance is not required. Compensation for time and travel will be provided. Again, if you suffer frequent migraines, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Rinstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Want to learn more about your furnace or air conditioner? Tune in this Saturday for free tips and expert advice on how to get the most out of your heating and air conditioning system. Or get a free AC rejuvenation by being the first person to go to cleanmyac.com. That's cleanmyac.com. Saturday, free tips and expert advice how to get the most out of your heating and air conditioning system. Or get a free AC rejuvenation by being the first person to go to cleanmyac.com. That's cleanmyac.com.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
This is Kendall Carpenter with Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club.
I want to introduce you to the finest equestrian opportunity available. If you love horses and enjoy Central Florida's mild climate and rich rolling landscape, come explore Golden Ocala. Bridle trails weave their way through this stunningly beautiful community of stately homes. Our state-of-the-art equestrian center will meet all of your equestrian needs with style. Visit us at goldenocala.com.
WWOCA,
Be sure to tune in to Ocala's longest-running morning radio talk show.
AM Ocala Live from 7 a.m. till noon weekdays.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com.
WOCA.
Welcome back as we wrap up. Ask the Cops coming up next. Family Matters with Dr. Marsha Morris, and then Southern Pigskin tonight. We've got about 30 seconds left, but I think you want to give a tip to the community that's something they can do in less than 5 seconds. It'll save everybody a lot of pain.
Yes, sir. Please lock your vehicles.
Yeah. Greg Graham told us one time he came in with the stats on stolen cars. He said, how many of these cars do you think were unlocked? And it was 156 break-ins and 154 of the cars were unlocked out of the 156. Lock your car, people. Lock your doors. Thieves go to the cars that are unlocked. They don't want to break a window. That draws attention. They keep checking the doors until they find a door unlocked, and that's the one they rob. They're not going to draw attention, so don't be dumb. Lock your car. Captain Corey Taylor, thanks so much for dropping by.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Family Matters with Dr. Marsha Morris, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. Stay tuned. Next, Family Matters with Dr. Marsha Morris right here on The Source.
Located in Ocala, Renstar Medical Research has offered a wide range of clinical research trials for 17 years. Renstar conducts clinical trials for conditions such as migraines, memory decline, fibromyalgia, and sun-damaged skin. To learn more, call Renstar at 352-629-5800. Help us create a healthier tomorrow by volunteering today. Please call Renstar at 352-629-5800. Hi, Buddy Martin here. Griner's Clothing for Men has been serving Ocala for 54 years. I've been buying clothes there since Augie Griner first opened. Owner David DeSantis is still dedicated to delivering the highest quality in men's clothing with the highest standards of customer service. Go by and see Griner's. Drop in at 405 East Silver Spring Boulevard in Ocala and tell David you want the same kind of great service that Buddy Martin gets. Griner's Clothing for Men, an Ocala tradition since 1962, proud sponsor of Countdown to Kickoff.
Stay with us and sleep better at the Sleep Inn and Suites of Ocala Bellevue, located next door to Don Garlett's Museum and a few minutes from Florida Horse Park. Our award-winning, newly refreshed Sleep Inn and Suites offers comfy, clean rooms, free fast Wi-Fi, and service with a smile. Start your day with a deluxe hot breakfast and unwind in our heated outdoor pool. Our convenient 24-hour fitness and business centers allow you to stay on track whether you're here to play or to work. That's Sleep Inn and Suites Ocala Bellevue, proud sponsor of Marion County High School football.
If you missed the Voice of Ocala recently, you missed Buddy Martin and Mayor Kent Gwynn asked the millennials what their take was on this upcoming electoral season.
I'm one of those people that I'm incredibly passionate about exercising your right to vote to begin with. And I'm one of those people that's going to pick the lesser of two evils. There's got to be one that's better than the other and one that's going to serve the country better than the other. So you got to look and weigh the pros and cons of both sides and understand what you're dealing with and then go from there.
That was Jake Perkins with his thoughts on the election season. So, what did Anita Blackman think?
It's kind of hard for me to put into words exactly my views on this election because it's just been such mass craziness, and I didn't think my first election that I could vote in, that I've been so excited for, would be anything like this.
From the young crowd on the Voice of Ocala. So listen to us weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security,